Hello everyone, hope you're doing and welcome back to my channel. Today we're at day 9 of the December daily LeetCode challenge. Yesterday I've seen a very good question. If you have not tried that, please go there and try. It's a really nice question. And prior to that, we have seen some easy questions which are marked as medium. And again, today we are having a medium question which is slightly on the harder side. And it's something really good. Okay, this is kind of question that you can expect in an interview basically because there is a lot of thinking involved in this. Okay, there is so much to discuss with the interviewer when such a question comes. There are multiple ways to do it, and obviously there are multiple ways in which you can solve them optimally as well. Okay, we'll see some of them. So in this particular question, I will be showing you two approaches. Okay, one will be a medium level approach, and a second one will be a most optimal approach. Okay, so let's quickly begin this question. It's 2054 two best non-overlapping events. Okay, so if you see, basically you are given events array, and that is the only input that you are given. Okay? So you are given this events array. This each element on this events array has three elements. Okay, each element in this events array has three basically values. What are the value? Meaning of that. See here, each event has three values. What are they? First is the start time of that event, the second value is the end time of that event, and the third value is the value that that event provides. Okay, the ith event starts at the start time I, ends at the end time, and if you have attended the event, you will receive a value of I. Okay, that is the basically this is the value that you will receive if you attend this event. You can choose at most two non-overlapping events to attend such that is sum of the values is maximized. Okay, so what is your aim? You have to attend at most two. Remember, it's just at most. That means you need not attend both of them. You can just attend any one. Okay, but their aim is to maximize the value that are going to obtain. Okay, at most two non-overlapping events to attend such that the sum of the values is maximized. Return this maximum sum. So the idea here is that is it's up to you like how many events you want to attend, but at most you can attend only two. It's now you have to decide which two you want to attend. You have to just ensure one thing that they are non-overlapping. What is non-overlapping? They have given us some description here. You can go through that. But what they are trying to say is, let us say one event ended at time t equal to 5. So the next event should start at t equal to 6 only. Okay, it should not start at the same time. That is, if an event has ended t equal to 5, you cannot join a event which again starts at t equal to 5. Remember that. That is something they are trying to specify. So that is the if you attend event at the time t, the next event must start at t plus 1. Okay, otherwise you cannot attend them. That means this is the condition they are trying to make you understand through the term non-overlapping. Okay, that is fine. Now coming to example one, in this case if you see, so these are the events given to us. Okay, so see, one option is either you can go with the event number two. Okay, the event two is the last one, because if you take that event, you cannot take any other event. Okay, that is the basic idea. Now, if you do not take this event, you can take other two. Okay, what are the other two? Event 0 and event 1. If you take these two, see, event 0 is ending at t equal to 3, event 1 is starting at t equal to 4. Okay, as simple as that. So here if you say it is ending at t equal to 3, it is starting at t equal to 4, so definitely they are non-overlapping, we can take them. So yeah, we can take these two and the sum is going to be 4. If you take only event 2, the sum is going to be 3. Fine. Now coming to example number 2, as you can see, we can take only one event, which is event 2, and get the value of 5, which is maximum, and it cannot, even if you add the other two events, that is event 0 and event 1, you cannot get this much value. And one thing is, event 2 cannot be overlapped with any other thing, so you cannot, once you have taken event 2, you cannot take any other event. Okay, and you can go with example 3 also. Everything is same there. I'm not going it because it's almost the same case. The important part here is the length is going to be in the range 10 per 5, because you can now analyze that, right? It's a medium level question, so this will be the range. Now quickly coming to what we can do. See, first I will show you a generic approach. It couldn't be a simple approach. Okay, this is something that you're expected to code if you are given this question in interview. Okay, this will be your starting approach. Remember that starting approach should be a decent one, should not be too brute force. It should be somewhat optimized, but yeah, it need not be a very optimal solution. So this will be something like that, and then we'll go to the most optimal solution. Okay, so what I'm doing, see, the idea that I'm applying is here in the first approach is, see, remember, this is not a most optimal approach, but yeah, this is somewhat optimal, but yeah, it will not be accepted if you segment the solution. Okay, because it is around O of n square complexity. So with this range it will not work, but it will clear almost 90% of the test cases, but for the last 10% it will fail. Okay, it will, we will get time limit exceeded error. Okay, so that's time explaining what we'll be doing here. So basically, we are sorting the events based on the value, that is the second index. What is the second index? Second index is basically the value. Okay, the zero, the second index is basically the value. So we are starting the based on the value. The idea here is, see, we will just try to take the one which is having the most value. Okay, because that is the question, right? The question is, we need to have the maximum value. Okay, that is the idea, right? So I'm going to sort them in on the basis of the value. Okay, then I am keeping a value, some variable called maximum. Then I'm going through each of those values which are sorted. Remember that. So what I'm doing, I am just taking the start time, end time, and the value. Okay, and maximum I'm just initializing with that. Remember, it could be possible that we can only visit this particular element, we cannot visit any other element. Okay, that is highly possible because we have the conditions of overlapping and all, right? So that's why even this value could, remember, they're saying at most 2 we have to take. So at most means you can take 1 also, fine. So these are some of the automations. I will come to that at the end, but just for now you can ignore that. What I'm doing is then I'm starting another loop within the first loop, where I'm starting from I plus 1 till the last element. Okay, so why I'm doing that, see, I will take any other element and I will just see whether it is possible, whether the second element, that is the element marked by the index j, is exceeding, that is, it's overlapping with the first element or not. If it is not overlapping with the first index, with the first event, what we have to do, we have to take the sum. Okay, value plus v. Okay, what is the v? V is the value of the second event. Value is the value of the first event. Okay, you have to just take them sum and save it in the maximum. Okay, that simple as that. Then we have to break. But we have to break. Remember that they are sorting terms of value. Okay, so we already have a sum that is the highest value. After that, if we are getting something which is non-overlapping, that will be the second highest value. And remember, we can take only 2 at a time. Okay, so we cannot take more than 2. So that's why we are breaking it here. Okay, that is the basic idea here. And there is the first thing. Next thing is that, see, if for example you have a value of 5, let us say the highest maximum is 5. So next time when you are exploring something, the value, if it is less than 2, okay, let us say, see, what is maximum divided by 2? Maximum divided in this case is 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So if the value here is 2, that is the value that even that you are exploring is 2. So remember, it is 2 means after that it will be either 2 or it will be less than 2, because it is sorted, right? It is sorted in the descending order. Remember that. Okay, so for that reason, even if it is 2 and again 2, then still 2 plus 2 will be 4, which is less than the maximum. That is the reason why, if it is less than maximum divided by 2, we will simply break. Okay, no need to explore anything further. Okay, this was one such solution. Let me quickly run this and show you. You can see the events are sorted on the basis of their value. Okay, first 3, then 2, and then 2 again, and then it is also clearing most of the test cases. But yeah, it will face the time limit exceeded error, because this approach, if you see, we are using 2 for loops, so it will be around O of n square. Okay, for that reason it will not be accepted, and some of the last test cases it will failing. But it is a very good solution to start with if you are getting this question in an interview. Okay, now coming to the optimal solution. See, optimal solution, what we are going to do, see, in the first solution we are not making use of the fact that we also have the start and end times. Okay, here we are not making use of those facts, we are simply just using them for comparisons, but other than that we are not using them for anything. Okay, but in this optimal solution we will be using that also. Okay, we'll be using both the start time and the end time in very, very, in very, very tricky way. Okay, we'll see that how. See, the first thing that I'm using is, first of all, I'm sorting the time, for sorting the events based on the start time. Okay, so the events initially will be sorted on the basis of the start time, as simple as that. Okay, then I'm having 2 variables. Okay, first will be the max velocity until now, and then is the maximum. Okay, before that, let me tell you what approach I'm going to follow. See, idea here is, for each event. Okay, remember, I've sorted it on the basis of the start time. So the idea here is, whenever I go to each event, what I have to do, get max value among all the events that have ended before the start of the current event. Okay, for example, see, I'm going through each of the events which are sorted on the basis of the start time. Okay, then whenever I go to event, what I need the maximum value of any event that has ended before the start of the current event. Okay, if I get that max value, I will add that value to the value of the current event, and then it could be one of the solutions. Okay, that is the basic idea that I'm going to use in this question. Okay, so I'm sorting them on the basis of the start time. Then I'm declaring 2 variables. Okay, first one is the maximum value seen till now. That is what I mentioned here. Basically, I need to get the max value among all the events that have ended before the start of the current event. Okay, which ensures that they are non-overlapping. See, what I've highlighted here is actually to ensure that they are non-overlapping. As simple as that. Okay, so this value will be for that. Okay, max value seen till now. Then this is the maximum, which will be our answer. We'll be writing the answer. Okay, so here I'm going to use a heap. What is this heap for? See, basically this heap is going to tell me which all events have ended till now, and among them which is having the highest value. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, so whenever I take an event, I will do, what I will do is, I will pop out all the values, that is all the events that have come before that, that's have ended before that, and among them which is having the highest value. Okay, that is the basic idea. So the idea here is, we are going to use both. Well, that's basically, we are sorting on the basis of both the start time and the end time. Okay, the start time sorting we have done here itself. The end time sorting will be done through the heap. Okay, it's a min heap. Min heap means, see, the sorting will happen on the basis of end time. That is whichever has ended first. Okay, that is why I'm writing as a min heap. Remember that. Okay, so the zeroth value, zeroth index in this will have the event which has the shortest, that is the smallest end time, which ended, before any other event till now. Okay, that's the basic idea. So what I'm doing, I'm going to the events now. Okay, start and end well are the 3 values in each of the events. What I'm doing next, I'm just checking if my heap. Okay, we'll come to this later on. We'll come to this part later on, but see the other values. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm just doing heap push. Okay, what is the heap push I'm doing? I'm pushing this element. What is this element? here I'm only pushing the and the value. Okay, that is the end time of this particular event and the value of this particular event. I'm not pushing the start time. Why I'm not pushing the start time? Because start time is already sorted. I'm already going through the elements on the basis of the start time. So in the heap, I'm only going to put this particular element. Okay, here it's only on the basis of end time and value. So always remember, when in a heap, always the sorting will happen on the basis of the end time. Remember that. That is, the zeroth index will have the event which has ended, uh, you know, before any other event. Okay, as simple as that. That's why the end value is in the zeroth place. Okay, as simple as that. Now, come to this part. Remember, in the first, when you're inserting the first element, this will not be happening. Okay, only this particular code will execute at that time. Okay, so other than that, what will happen now? See, here what I'm doing is, if the heap has some element. Okay, if the heap has some element, what I'm trying to see, whether the end time of that image. Remember, the mean heap of 0 comma 0 is basically trying to check the zeroth position, whatever element is there, what is the end time of that. That is what is the end time of the first element in the heap. Okay, if that is less than the start time, that is, that event has ended before the start of the current event, that is the event that I'm witnessing now. Okay, so if that event has ended before the start of this, what I have to do, I have to simply pop it out. Okay, I will just pop it out, and I will save its this is basically the value of it. Remember, the one index is basically the value. So I will just take its value, and then I will compare it with the values that I've seen till now, and I will, whichever is the maximum, I will update it here, and then I will pop that element out. As simple as that. Okay. So idea here is, whenever I'm visiting a value, whenever visiting an event, I will pop out all the events which have ended before the current event. As simple as that. Okay, and then after popping them out, what I have to do, I will get, just update this part. Okay, this will store, see, whichever event has ended till now, it will store the max value of them. Okay, so what I will do, I will add the current events well with the max value seen till now. Okay, these two things I will add, and then if it is maximum, it is greater than the current sum, that is maximum, I will update it here, and finally the current element will be pushed to the heap. Okay, as simple as that. Okay. So what we're doing, see, first sorting is happening based on the start time. This mini heap is basically sorting it on the basis of their end time. Remember that. Okay. So this is basically the idea, right? If you understand this part, the whole solution will be clear to you. For each event, basically, we are trying to get the, among all the events that have ended before the current event started, we are trying to get their max values. Okay. We are trying to get the max values for all the events that have ended before the current event started. Okay, as simple as that. So finally, once this is done, we are returning the maximum. Okay, let me quickly run this and show it to you. As you can see, like, this is clearing most of the, okay, let me quickly run this and show you. Like, I have already segmented the solution and it's clearing all the test cases. So I agree, like, see, this here, the thing is, you will have to see, in the first solution, if you see, we are, just going it by the question. Okay, the question ended in the maximum, and we are only trying to do that. Okay, but in the second question, basically, we are trying to make use of all the facts that we have. Okay, so we have this, the start time, we have the end time, we're trying to make use of both of them. Okay, as simple as that. Now if you talk about the space and time complexity of it, see, the time complexity, first of all, we are doing a sorting. Okay, so n log n, anyway we have it. Okay, as simple as that. Next is, see, this particular heap, basically, if you see, on a whole, what we are doing, every element is in a pushed once and popped once. Okay, as simple as that. In the worst case, I'm saying everything is, pushed once and popped once, since pushing and popping takes, log n time. Okay, so the now elements are there, and each one of them is be, pushed and popped, which takes log n time. So this particular thing, okay, this whole thing is basically going to take n log n time. This is also going to take n log n time. Okay, so the overall, this time complexity is going to be n log n. And if you talk about the space complexity, so this is something that is consuming the space, and obviously, even while sorting, some temporary space will be consumed. Okay, so that also is something that you have to consider. And this is also, in a worst case, it will have all the n elements here. Okay, as simple as that. Let us say, none of the events ended till the last event is, reached. In that case, it will have all the elements. Okay, yeah. So in that case also, you will have n elements in this. So yeah, in the worst case, it is going to be O of n, yeah, in the O of n space complexity, and O of n log n time complexity. Okay, as simple as that. So yeah, that was all for today, friends. I hope you like this question and the explanation for this question. This was slightly trigger question, but remember, it's not about solving the questions. That's why I always say, see, that's why I will say that you need some guidance, because see, it's not only about solving the question. Remember that it's about the thinking. Okay, remember, in a programmer, what is more important is, if you get some hints, whether you are able to build the solution after that or not. That is what is tested in a real interview. Okay, so this is something that you can come up with if you get the solution. That is, if you get this question of face-to-face interview, first of all, you have to code approach which is slightly better than the brute force approach. It is something like this. That's why I showed you the solution, and then you will be getting certain hints. On the basis of those hints, we will basically have to code a solution which is optimal. Okay, as simple as that. that. It doesn't mean in the single you have to do it. You will keep getting, you will code a solution, then you will try to see what can be improved here. You will see basically the idea here is, that's why I mentioned, like they are giving the start and the end time. In the first solution we are not using that. Okay, the same question will get in an interview also. Okay, why you are not using those things to optimize? Okay, then you have to start thinking how you can be done, how this can be used, and how it can be done, and ultimately we'll get to this kind of solutions. Okay, where you are ensuring that, see, ultimately you're using two kind of sorting, this and this. Okay, but you are using both of them. See, this basic logic you're using. So idea here is, before starting any event, basically we are going to take the maximum value among all the events that have ended. So this helps me get the answer like this. Okay, but in the previous session what we are doing, we'll have to, for each value basically we have to go again and to the whole loop and then search for a second event. So that was basically taking a lot of time. But in this case we are simply getting them because we have their end times and we have already sorted them and we have their end times. So yeah, friend, that was all for this question. I hope you liked this question. I felt this is something really nice because I really expect this kind of question to come in face-to-face interview. So if you're able to solve this kind of question, I will say you're on a very much right track to you know prepare yourself for some of the big companies. I simple like that. So yeah, friend, that was all for today, and see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot.